Today, we're going to be diving into a completely hypothetical and satirical situation that 100% totally shouldn't be recreated to wipe out large minority populations in the Northern Hemisphere. Now that the Homeland Security agents are gone, you guessed it and probably read the title, How to Build a Nuclear Bomb. Now, my future little war criminals, we need to start from the beginning, gathering materials. First, you're going to need some uranium or plutonium. Where do you find that, you ask? Well, unless you have unlimited budget and high-level government clearance, good luck. The black market doesn't exactly sell this stuff like Amazon. But for those committed to making our little rice cooker, maybe you're an aspiring Bond villain, or you simply got a grudge against a small town, you'll need some uranium. One word, Yucca Mountain. Damn it, that was two, holy shit. What is this mysterious Yucca Mountain? Well, it's the United States Nuclear Repository. Due to those silly little environmentalists in the 70s, the United States keeps over 25,000 tons of nuclear product in one place. How convenient. After the layoff of 800 employees on March 31st, 2009, about 100 employees remained on the project until all technical staff were laid off by the end of the fiscal year in 2010 due to zero funding into 2011 budget for the Office of Civilian Radioactive Waste Management. Sandia National Laboratories was responsible for the post-closure analysis and ensuring compliance with the NWPA. The main tunnel of the Exploratory Studies Facility is U-shaped, 5 miles long and 25 feet wide. So, how can we use this information? Well, with a few well-placed friends along the Caliente Corridor and the vindictive workers who were laid off, you can create quite the distraction. With enough time, you can get more than enough material out. Assuming that you aren't immediately caught, maybe with the help of some suspicious governments, no matter how good it looks, do not eat the green apple candy. Radiation is like a vindictive ex-wife, a slow, life-draining force that rips you apart piece by piece, taking your lifeblood and your dog Peanut. Maybe not the last part. Now it's time to get into the meat and bones. If you still have it, I have some extra skin suits in the back you can borrow. If you're worried about it, get a few high schoolers who need some last-minute community service hours. They'll do anything to graduate. It's time to build your core. We need to talk about critical mass. To make a bomb that'll go boom, you need a carefully constructed sphere of uranium. Shape it into a sphere, gently, or not. You only live once. Don't let a disembodied voice on the internet spreading misinformation tell you how to live your life. By the end, it should look like the world's deadliest meatball. Or those fake tinfoil ball hacks from 2016. Now, you're gonna need something to make your fancy uranium core implode. This requires explosives, high-grade ones that aren't available at your local Walmart, unless you live in Oklahoma. Line them up around your core in a perfect symmetrical pattern to ensure a nice, even compression. Here's where things get real spicy. You're gonna need a detonator that can set off all of those explosives simultaneously. And by timing, I mean microseconds. This isn't your dad's pull-out game we're talking about. One little slip up here, and your project either doesn't work or blows you to smithereens before you can even take a step. For final assembly, look at the following diagrams. You can assemble your bomb in a myriad of ways. Personally, I recommend using this schematic for the implosion design in your build, taken from the design of the Iraqi government. Then, place this into a multi-stage thermonuclear weapon. Alternatively, you could use a gun-type design by combining subcritical masses into one. Just a side note, if I disappear, it's either the US or the Iraqi government's fault. Yeah, I'm scared. For the climax, we need to go over one more thing. I know how badly you want to remove 80% of the crime rate caused by only 11% of the population. But easy there, Hitler. We need to talk about my old friends, Homeland Security. Homeland Security is a U.S. government department created to safeguard the nation from threats, both domestic and international, with the primary focus on terrorism, cybersecurity, border security, and disaster response. Established in response to the 9/11 attacks, the Department of Homeland Security aims to coordinate efforts across federal, state, and local agencies to prevent and respond to threats that could harm the public or compromise national security. In other words, everything we stand against. So, how do we deal with this particular problem until the time of our atomic rapture? We're gonna take a page out of Gregory Lee Rodvelt's book. Just like any good femboy, we're gonna need a trap. After finding a hideout, first thing we're gonna need to do is find a minivan and use it to block the gate. Then, use steel animal traps affixed to the gate post and under the van's hood. Also, throw out some homemade spike strips for variety. Then, you have to bar all of the windows and doors and install a large deadlock on the front door. Litter the floor with some of Gregory's special little contraptions. What are they? Well, they're rat traps with nails welded to one end and a shotgun shell on the other. Man, it sounds like we would have made great friends. And finally, for the main door, strap two 12-gauge shotguns to a wheelchair so when they open the door, it sends off a chain reaction. Now that you've got all the pieces in place, it's time for the grand finale. Ideally, you're miles and miles away. Hit that detonator, lean back, and watch as the sky lights up in ways that make fireworks look like